And a lot of guys who say that nice guys finish last, most of those guys are not confident. And the reason why they're finishing last is because they're not confident. And women can tell that. Women can see that. Confidence is sexy, especially in a man. Okay, so do nice guys actually finish last? So I want to bring this up because one of the things that I see quite a bit, not necessarily on any of my YouTube videos, but usually like if I'm just kind of scrolling on TikTok or maybe reading through a comment section on, Facebook or TikTok, one of the common denominators that I see expressed by men and that they seem to be very widely frustrated with is the idea that, the hardworking man or um the nice guy, the good guy, he's always the one who's being looked over. The nice guy always finishes last. We've all heard that saying before. And so I want to tell you guys why I think that is and the observations that I've made and the things that I think if you really feel like that and you feel like that you're one of those guys, I want to tell you the reasons why I think that it is, but I also want to tell you some suggestions that I would make if you are still sort of in the market and you're looking for a woman. You're still kind of like out there, maybe you've given up, maybe you're like, these women are not, they're not checking for me. Maybe you feel like it's a lost cause. I don't know. So I'm not going to sit here and try to give you guys dating advice. Like I'm not one of those people. I'm not here to tell you who to date, how to date, right? This is not this type of video. What my purpose in making this video is to give you guys a perspective on the reasons why you might act, the real reasons why you probably are getting looked over by the women that you really want. Now, usually whenever I read a comment from a guy that says that, he's a nice guy and, he's always, he's been looked over and women are not attracted to him or, whatever his reason being, um, for him not attracting the type of woman that he wants or not getting the women that he wants. Um, he's he's thinking that it's just because he's a nice guy. He's just the quote unquote average dude. But one of the things that I noticed, because what I do is whenever I see a comment like that from a man, I always click on his page. Okay, so I click on his page and I check out his profile. And there's always something very unanimous about each one of these profiles of the guys that say that they're a nice guy and they, always get overlooked. And I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what I noticed. Some of these guys don't have profiles at all, or, they probably lack so much confidence and self-esteem in themselves that they don't post any pictures at all. They'll usually have pictures of like something random or like an animal or a car or something. Um, so sometimes you can't tell who they are or what they look like. The other common denominator that I found was that when the guy does have a profile, he never presents well in his pictures. Never. I mean, I don't know how these guys are presenting in real life. I'm assuming that, most people try to present themselves better online than they do in real life, to be honest with you. Everybody wants to look better online than in real life. So I can't imagine that they look better or presenting themselves better in person than they are on the internet, but who knows? But I know from the pictures that I've seen, almost none of these guys look like they care about their appearance at all. Okay. I'm gonna tell you what I'm seeing. I'm seeing very scruffy, unkempt facial hair, like they haven't put a shaver, haven't gotten a lineup or anything in weeks. The hair is usually kind of disheveled or just not really doesn't look well taken care of. A lot of these guys are dressed like they never take any pictures of them dressed nicely. They're usually like in some type of work clothes or some type of sportswear or some type of hoodies and or jogging suits. Sometimes their work attire is not even clean. And they just look very disheveled. I mean, they don't look attractive at all. And it has nothing to do with their biological appearance, it has nothing to do with their genetics. They're just not presenting themselves well at all. It doesn't look like they care about themselves. So that's not attractive, guys. I mean, if that's how you're presenting, you're not, it's not that women are looking over you because you're nice. They're looking past you because you don't look like you take care of yourself. You don't look confident. And a lot of guys who say that nice guys finish last, most of those guys are not confident. And the reason why they're finishing last is because they're not confident. And women can tell that. Women can see that. Confidence is sexy, especially in a man. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you guys why confidence is sexy in a minute here. But I did something a little bit silly because I really want you guys to really get the picture of what I'm trying to convey. So I did not want to scour the internet and start pulling pictures of innocent random men off the internet and posting it and talking about these random guys on, on my video. So what I did was I made myself into one of the two of the type of guys that I'm telling you guys about. So I used some filters and some different lighting and some different angles to try to capture exactly. I really want you guys to really get what I'm saying here because I want this to make sense. So we're gonna call this first guy Chuck, okay? As you can see, Chuck is he's kind of given, quiet guy. He's kind of given, he probably works in a warehouse. He's got the scruffy beard. He's got the old raggedy hoodie on. He's just, obviously you can tell he's a little bit overweight. And he just overall doesn't really look like he cares about his appearance. He doesn't look like um, he looks like a hardworking man, but he doesn't look like he takes care of himself physically. He doesn't look like he smells good. And he's just not attractive. And there is a very, very large portion of the guys who say that nice guys finish last that look just like this. I'm just being silly. That's me in the picture, guys. Okay, this is me. I didn't pull this picture from some random innocent man off the internet. This is a picture of me, and I mocked myself up to look like that. So what I'm trying to say is it's not about changing who you are, but we all have the choice and the option to present ourselves in the best light possible or to present ourselves to the world however we want people to see us. And so however you choose to present yourself is how people are going to view you. And women like men who, okay, this is even just about women. People like people who like themselves. People are drawn and attracted to people who love themselves and who take care of themselves. So if you look like you don't take care of yourself, you look like, you don't care about your health, you don't care about your clothes, you don't care how you smell, like all of those things are extremely important. And let's just real quick, let's get onto this smell thing, guys, because this is a major key right here that I don't want you guys to miss. One of the major keys that a lot of men don't realize is cologne for a lot of women. I'm not saying all women, but cologne, the right cologne is a huge turn on. And I know for me it is, for a lot of my friends it is, for women I've even posted on my Facebook page to ask some other women what did they think like weeks ago before I thought about talking about this topic. I asked, the ladies like on a scale of 1 through 10, how important is smell when it comes to a man's attractiveness? Most of the women said 10, 8, 9, or 10. Like it ranks super high on the list. And that's something that's not even typically talked about. We always talk about the stuff that a man can't change, like his, 6 foot, 6 foot tall and or just things that are not quite either things that are not attainable or things that are difficult to reach, like six figures, six pack abs. Those things are attainable, but they're more difficult to achieve. It's not hard to go out and buy a good cologne. That is something that is very well within your reach. And I'm gonna just tell you guys, men have caught my eye that normally would not catch my eye just because they smell good. A whiff of the right cologne is super sexy. And most women are gonna say the same thing, like a good cologne is so sexy. And I'm telling y'all, I have looked at men that I normally would not look at like, just because that cologne was right. But it's got to be the right cologne, y'all. It can't be no cheap stuff. It can't be no ice I was gonna say Ice Spice. It can't be no Old Spice, none of that. That's not gonna do. The main one that I'm thinking about right now that's at the top of my head is Baccarat. And I'm gonna put a little picture of it on here on the side. It is expensive, but honestly, y'all, the cheap stuff, don't even bother. If the cheap stuff is the only thing that's in your budget, don't even just skip this whole part. And I'm telling y'all, if you don't believe me, look, just try it out for yourself. You don't even have to buy the cologne. Go to a department store like Macy's or Dillard's or Saks or somewhere and try a couple of really high quality men's colognes. Like you can get suggestions from the clerks or whatever that work there. And just spray some on yourself, see how it works with your body chemistry, wear it out. You don't even have to buy it the same day. Wear it out and just I'm telling you, you're gonna notice a different reaction from women. You're going to notice that women that normally wouldn't have looked your way are gonna look your way because of the scent. Even if nothing ever happens of it, she may not even be available or whatever. That's not the point. The point is you want to get the reaction. You want to see, I want you to see the difference. I remember there was a time one of my friends was telling me about a date that she had went on, and one of her complaints was that he wasn't wearing cologne. She was like, he didn't even have on any cologne. It was just like, I don't know. She was just kind of baffled by that because she's another woman who's just really turned on by cologne. And I'm one of those women. Um, and he wasn't wearing cologne, and it was kind of a turn off for her. And so I think that that's something that is not really talked about. And I think that a lot of men don't realize that your smell can literally change your entire appearance. Like that right scent, the right smell, that right cologne will literally change a woman's perception of you. But just kind of going back to Chuck here, um, Chuck does look like a hardworking man, and a woman does appreciate a hardworking man. A good woman does appreciate a hardworking man. Women do want a man who can protect, provide, and obviously he looks like he's a good, a working man. He looks like he works. But when you're taking your pictures or when you're presenting in public, I don't want to just see what you look like at work. I want to see you when you look good. And so the next guy, myself, that I wanted to talk about that I've seen is I'm going to call this guy Cornell. Okay, Cornell is he's a nice guy. He's a working class guy. This is the type of guy who is more than likely socially awkward. Once again, I think a lot of that comes from lack of confidence. So Cornell is he's not confident and he doesn't present well. He's kind of got a faded, he's got like a faded goatee. He's balding. He hasn't accepted the fact that he's going bald and he's still trying to hold on to a cul-de-sac and it's just not working out for him. And there's nothing wrong with glasses, but um once again, presentation. So, yeah, this is another type that I have seen after clicking on a man's page for saying that nice guys finish last and I'm the good guy and I don't get picked. This is a lot of times what he looks like. You sometimes you just have to kind of self-reflect. It's not always the things that you think it is the reason why you're getting overlooked. I think a lot of men make the assumption that women are all just gold diggers. Women are, the only way that you can get, a beautiful woman that you actually want is if you are 6 foot tall with making six figures and have a six-pack abs. Well, that's kind of a wish list, but that's not a end all be all requirement of getting a good woman or a woman that's beautiful, looks good, takes care of herself, and all of those three six requirements, those are kind of like just a wish list. It's not necessarily like you absolutely have to have these things. Most women are not even getting those guys. And, I was actually talking to my dad about this topic a few weeks ago. And, he was saying that a lot of men feel like, they just feel like they can't get like they just feel like they're always being overlooked because they don't have, the six figures and they're not 6 feet tall and they're constantly being overlooked. But then when I was telling him, I'm like, Dad, look, when I'm going to these guys' profiles, they're not presenting well. A lot of men don't look like they take care of themselves. And it's like, if you look like you don't even like you, you look like you don't even like yourself. You cannot expect me as a woman to like you. You have to present yourself in a confident light. Women, I'm gonna tell y'all something about women. It's not just about the money. It's what it really is. It's about security. It's about safety. What women look for is just those two things. And money is associated with that. Okay. Because money does bring safety. Money brings security. No woman wants to be worried about whether or not if you're going to have a roof over your head next month. No woman wants to be worried about, are we going to be able to pay the bill, or are we going to be sitting in the cold, or are we going to be able to pay for our cars? And women don't want those worries, especially if you guys have kids. So I think a lot of men think that it's solely about dollars with every single woman. And it's not about the dollars. It's not always about the dollars. It's about the safety and the security. I think what some women find appealing about the Pookies and the Ray Rays, it's not about money because these guys don't have money. The Pookie, the Ray Ray, the thug dude, those dudes they don't have any money. So what is it that these women are attracted to? They're attracted to their confidence, their self-assurance, because what else would they be attracted to? A lot of these Pookie and Ray Ray dudes are not even that physically attractive, but they're extremely confident and very bold. So I think that the Pookie and the Ray Ray thing is more like a false sense of security for some women because it's like he's confident, he's, strong-minded. So to me, that's like a false sense of security. The real security would be in a man who is not a Pookie and a Ray Ray, a man who is hardworking, who wants to protect you, provide for you, and who is confident in where he's going and leading the family. And I think it's like a psychological thing. I think a lot of women equate confidence to safety. So a woman, is going to want a man who is confident because if you're confident as a man, then I can be more confident in your ability to lead. But if you're timid and you're unsure of yourself, you're unsure of life, you don't really have any direction, you don't have any plan, you don't know what to do. As a woman, I cannot feel confident that that you can be the leader of our household and be the leader, of our children. And you know what I mean? I can't, women have to have that assurance. And I know that there's a disparity between, women who are feminine and women who, are kind of like alpha females that don't want to let you lead. And that's a whole nother topic. I'm not really talking about those women. I'm more so talking about if you want a woman who is feminine and who wants a man who is a leader, a protector, and a provider who's not going to try to step on your toes every step of the way, then I'm telling you that that's the type of man that they're looking for. Okay. So it's like confidence. He looks good. He smells good. He has a vision. He takes care of business. So those are the things that that type of woman is going to be drawn to. And all of those things are things that are very well within your control. None of the things that are listed is anything that is outside of what you can control. You can't control how tall you are. That's nothing you can do about it. The six pack abs that's like a toss up. I mean, if you have time to spend, 20 hours a week in the gym, then maybe you can achieve that. The six figures, if honestly, if you have the right plan, if you have the right plan, the right vision, and you have a good woman, you can go six figures and beyond. Okay, so all of these things are that I mentioned are things that you have control over. So, all of this, like nice guys finish last, a lot of times you're not looking at the bigger picture. You're not actually doing any real self-reflection to see what are women actually seeing when they're looking at me. So once again, this is not dating advice. I'm not going to tell you what type of woman to date. I'm not going to tell you how to date. I'm not going to tell you where to take her on a date. Um, I'm not going to tell you what to say in your messages or anything like that because, to be honest, every relationship dynamic is going to be different. You got to work that out with your partner or whoever you're dating. But I'm just telling you that there are things that you can do that I've seen. From what I've seen, it does not seem like a lot of men who make that proclamation that nice guys finish last, it does not seem like they are presenting themselves in their best light. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, I'm just telling you. Beautiful women will date you. A beautiful woman will absolutely date you and absolutely give you a chance if you look if you look your best, you smell good, you're confident, and you are, dressed in a night in whatever style that you have, do it the best way that it can be done. So, you look good, you smell good, you carry yourself well, clean cut, and you're confident. Like, look, I know who I am, whether if you like it or not. Trust me, you in there. Let me know what you guys think about this. We can talk about it in the comment section. I'd love to know what you guys think. This is just my perspective. So make sure you like the video if you do like this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you do like my content, I'd love to have you as part of the Theo the Truth family. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.